Good afternoon, all. On behalf of IOT Academy, we welcome you all for the third session of National Level Faculty Refresher Program on Quality Teaching and Strategies in HEIs. Let me introduce the resource person of today's session, Dr. Somasekhar. Dr. Somasekhar is currently working as professor and HOD, CSE Department, Gopalan College of Engineering and Management, Bangalore. He has 15 years of experience in teaching and 6 years of experience in research. His qualifications include MTech and PhD. He has published 23 research articles in leading journals, conference proceedings, and has to his credit 2 international textbook chapters. He is the recipient of Innovative Collaborative Researcher Award in Medical Imaging for research collaboration with ITRI Taiwan. His current research interests include image processing, machine learning, big data analytics, and ML for cyber security. Dr. Somasekhar has completed 120 invited talks and is a reviewer for reputed international journals such as Scopus. We welcome you, sir. And with this, we hand over the session to Dr. Somasekhar. Sir, please.
Thank you. My slides is visible, madam?
Yes, sir, it is visible, sir.
Okay, thank you. So good afternoon to all the participants. So thanks to IOT Academy for the opportunity. So coming to today's session topic, 10 days national level faculty refreshment program on quality teaching and strategies in HEIS. So my session topic is basis research and funding for teachers in HEIS. So here we have, in the entire session, we have 2 main topics. What is basis research? And also we are going to discuss with funding for the teachers based on the research activity. And whenever if you go for any interviews nowadays, so mainly they are focusing on research. Why means because when you go for research, obviously the teaching quality will improve. At the same time, so we can look for various type of accreditation works. It may be NAC or NBA or NRFA, etc. So obviously research publications plays a vital role. And also we can guide the students and we can guide the projects of the students properly so that we can extract good quality work from the students. And also we can look for funding also. Even students also can apply for funding based on our guidance. So that's the most of the interviews. Basically, they're focusing on the research activities, and obviously rest of the things are subjects. So mainly they are asking whenever if you go attend any interview, it may be university or maybe affiliated colleges or any autonomous colleges, you may ask to show the publication citations, any finding completed, all those things you may face the questions, are followed by maybe rest of the things like subject knowledge and other activities. So in today's session, we are focusing on basic research and some of the funding for teachers or various agencies, how they are funding to the teachers based on the research. So before going to the agenda of today's session, so basically let us assume we have an idea, so we have to make it as a proposal. So that proposal can be submitted to the journal for paper publication or maybe funding. So I have an idea, whatever it may be idea, that we have to make a proposal and we have to write the proposal and we have to submit to the funding agencies. We have various funding agencies like BST, ACTU, UGC, etc. I'm talking about India. Even we have international funding agencies also, that also we can submit. So after submission of the proposal, maybe let us assume if the proposal is declined. So then what we have to do, again, we have to try. So again, we have to rethink, is there any issue in the proposal, or maybe we have to enhance something. So for that, we have to go for conceptualization. Again, we have to get new idea, whatever it may be idea, maybe it won't work properly because of decline. Then again, what we have to do, we have to write and revise, and we have to submit again to the funding agencies. So finally funded by the agencies, whatever it may be, maybe government agencies or private agencies or NGOs. So depends on the proposal what we have submitted here. Now here, why I'm showing this one, the basic idea here. So we have idea means, so obviously we have to do research. So whenever if you want to make a proposal, or whenever if you want to go for publication, or whenever if you want to go for paper presentation, whatever idea, so we have to go for proposal or maybe we have to go for implementation. So for that, so we require some of the basic ideas of research, then only we can go for that. Then we can go for submission to the journal or funding agencies, whatever it may be, depends on the requirement. Maybe if I'm pursuing PhD, I can look for submission of the paper to the journals, or maybe after PhD, I'm looking for funding, I can look for submission to the agencies, depends on the requirement. But the basic thing is we have idea, we are converted into proposal. So for that, we require some research. So that research background we are going to discuss in today's session. After that, we are focusing on some of the funding agencies. Of course, most of them knows funding agencies. Still, we will discuss what are the funding agencies and how much they are providing. All those brief details we are going to discuss in today's session. So maybe if any funding agencies missed previously, also we can find here. Maybe after the session, just I will show the path. Based on that, we can enhance better funding agencies. Based on that, you can understand. So that is the basic idea. Two things we are going to focus. One is research, basic research, and the next one is funding for the teachers. Not only for teachers, even for any research scholars or students also, it is applicable. Same thing is applicable. Now, these are the two things we are going to discuss for this entire session. Just I will show the path. So based on that, we can go for further enhancement of that path or maybe concepts, and we can enhance the rest of the things. Now I will move to the agenda of today's session. So first we will see the introduction, and after that we'll go for basics of research. I'm not going for in-depth of research, all those things. Just I will show basics, because I belongs to academia and we are all looking for academic research only, because there we have various types of research. So we are almost all we belongs to academic research, because there is a huge difference between academic research and when you go for industry research. Industry research is not that much easy. It's a very extensive and there more people are involving. It's a large scale. But here we are basically looking for academic research. That much only we are going to cover. That means our scope is almost limited to academic research. So that we are going to cover. But the basics are same. If you go for academic research or when you go for industrial research, whatever it may be, the basics are same, but the scale is different. Here we have a small scale. Maybe when you go for problem, depends on the problem. It may be large scale, and sometimes it may be very extensive, or sometimes basic also. Depends on the problem. It may vary also. And what is research process, that also we'll discuss in detail. And tools for paper writing, because when I had completed my PhD at that time, we don't have much online tools to write the paper, or maybe to help for the PhD thesis, or maybe paper submission, etc. Now we have huge number of tools are available. Just I will show some of the tools briefly, and after that you have to do work on that. Maybe how to do again research for the tools, so that you'll get more idea, because tools, if you want to explain, it will take 2-3 hours. So that many tools we have for research purpose. It may be paper writing, or maybe thesis writing, or maybe plagiarism, or it may be searching problem, or maybe checking journals, which journals are authentic, all those things. Like that, we have various number of tools are available. I will show some of the tools after that. After the session, maybe you can go through the tools. Based on that, you can enhance, or you can get more knowledge about the tools for your better research paper writing, or maybe better research proposal for submission to the respective funding agencies. And also research funding, that is also one of the scope of our today's session. That also will discuss what is research funding, what are the agencies, or state level, or it may be national level or international level, but we limited to national level only. So national level, state level also we have various funding agencies, that also we'll discuss. After that, we will go through that in detailed resources, or it may be websites. Based on that, we can get complete details, because explaining one research funding agency, let us say AACT or maybe DST, it will take more than 1 hour also. Just we will show these are the things, and there I will show 1 or 2 examples. After the session, you can go through that again. You can do research for each and every agency, so that you can find in-depth details, or you will get the insights of that each and every funding agency. Based on that, we can go for further steps, maybe applying research funding, or maybe grants, or maybe awards, whatever it may be, depends on the availability of the respective funding agency. And some of the resources or references I will show. Maybe you can go through that. Maybe resources references means like whatever materials I have referred, or whatever textbooks available for these concepts, I will show you at the end of the session. So based on that, we can go with that references, maybe for further enhancement of these topics. So just we will see basics only, but when you are looking for in-depth, we have to go for references or maybe resources. Based on that, you can look for insights of the concepts. So this is a brief agenda of today's session. Within 1 hour, we can try to look for these concepts briefly. Based on that, you will get idea about basic research or basics of research, and little bit idea about funding or research grants, whatever it may be. Now, coming to here, when you come to the higher educational institutes, because I would like to expand basics research and funding, and that is we are basically focusing on for higher education institutes teachers. That is the main scope of our section. So here, when you come to the teachers' roles and responsibilities in HEIS, so teaching by default, obviously, but nowadays most of the interviews they are focusing for research only. Then they will come to the teaching, because by default teaching, that is our basic primary goal. That's why no need to focus much, and teaching is one of the goal. And the next one is guiding students, obviously any projects or mini projects that also we have to do, and guiding research scholars, maybe PhD students if anyone completed PhD, or creating learning sources. So we have huge work for this creating learning sources nowadays, and carry out research work. Maybe those who completed or those who are pursuing PhD, they have to focus on research work. So research work not only for getting PhD, for even enhancement of the subject. Once if we have enhancement of the subject, that we can export to the students properly. For example, I'm taking one application subject, let's assume digital image processing or machine learning or data science. If I have research on that area, whatever textbook they provided concepts that I can explain, along with additionally I can explain the application, how it is useful. For example, if we take latest assume image enhancement, how it is useful for real life problems, or if we go for classification, how it is applicable for real world problem solutions. So like that we can explain properly. So that means students get gain the knowledge theoretically as well as application oriented. Because of that reason only people are looking for research, not just because of qualification, or not just because of accreditation purpose, or maybe NRF ranking, or etc etc. So because when you have research work properly, we can enhance the student, or we can export the students, and based on that students also get more knowledge on that subject. Instead of just theoretical oriented, maybe we can explore on application oriented also, so that they can go for better placements, or maybe better knowledge. Based on that they look for higher studies, or maybe they are also looking for research in future. So that is the main thing why we are looking for research people, that is dedicated research people. And obviously research funding. So why we have to look for research funding, that we'll discuss in detail. So without funding, what happens? With funding, what is going to happen? Why we have to look for research funding, that we'll do when you go for rest of the session. Maybe after half an hour we will see research funding, all those things. And conducting various programs, that is also one of the roles and responsibilities. Consultancy work, miscellaneous mentoring, coordinator. I think everyone knows how many works as a teacher in engineering colleges, or maybe universities, or maybe other degree colleges, etc. We have huge number of responsibilities. So here I have listed only little bit, but still there are huge number of other roles and responsibilities are available. But here we are focusing mainly on, so one thing is research work. So basics of research that we are focusing, that is the scope of our today's session, and research funding. So these are the two things. Of course, these are all the main roles and responsibilities of the teachers in HEIS. So that's why these two things we are going to discuss in today's concept. So maybe other things also, when you go for future sessions are organizing by IOT, there you can find these things. And learning resources also, some of the resource persons are taking future in the same FDP. Now coming to the first one, so the section is divided into two parts. So one part is basics of research, one part is funding, or maybe grant for the research proposals or research work. So basically, what is research? So whenever we go for doing PhD, the first question is what is research? So whenever if I go for research, the detailed study of a problem, or maybe sub-problem, or maybe topic. So especially in order to discover new information or understand better. So whatever it may be problem, so that we'll try to make it as a solution, or maybe if you want to go for better understanding, we have to go for research. But we have various definitions you can see here. So research is a searching for and gathering information, usually to answer a particular question or problem. Obviously, so we have a problem, let us assume A is a problem. So we have to solve this problem. Obviously, we have to go for research. Or maybe we have to enhance something. A is already solution, and still I have to enhance something. We have to go for research. Like that, we have various definitions. So for research given by various authors or maybe various scientists. So here one more professor, that is Robert, given research is defined as systematic analysis to describe, explain, predict, control the phenomena observed. So like that, we have various definitions. But the simple thing is, so we have a problem. That problem solution we have to do, or we have a problem. That problem solution we have to enhance better, or better results that we have to look for. Or maybe if you go for other types of research, based on that also we can do research. That here I listed what are the various types of research. So basic research, When you come to the basic research, most of the academics people are looking for basic research, like to increase the knowledge or enhance the knowledge. So that comes under basic research. Even master students also are doing research that comes under basic research. Even graduates also can do that, is a basic research, especially when you are looking for mini projects or major projects for graduation level. So that comes under basic research. Just we have to increase the knowledge or enhance the knowledge. Next, problem solving research. When you go for solving research here, so it is not done by many entities. It is based on the individual entity or maybe company. For example, one company conducting survey entire global, or maybe in that area. Maybe they are looking for their concerned problem, and only that company involving in that research. That is called problem solving research. And problem oriented research means here what happens, the problem of that path required to solve. That means, so we have to know the nature of the problem, and that we have to solve the problem, whatever it may be path we have to make. For that we have to solve. Let us assume A is a problem, so let us assume we have to make a path, and that we have to solve. So for that we have to go for problem oriented research. Problem solving means we are looking for one entity, we are not going to involve more entities. And applied research means, so that we know we have a real life problem that we'll try to solve, or maybe social life problems that we have to solve, but it's a little bit extensive, and we have to conduct for large scale. So when you go for applied research, we have to conduct on large scale, as well as it's a little bit very expensive. And qualitative research means there we have comparisons and mathematical models and numerical figures, numbers, so many things are involving. So this comes under qualitative research. And quantitative research. When you come to the qualitative research, like case studies and historical research, all those things comes under qualitative research. So but when you come to the academics, we are focusing on basic research as well as quantitative research, even sometimes qualitative research like case studies, all those things. So applied research, when you go to the industry level, so they are looking for large scale problem solutions. So it's a little bit expensive also. Then industry people used to take it. Maybe academics people also we can do, provided that we require some funding. For that only we have to go for research funding for solving such type of problems. So that is the main simple things of types of research. Now, okay, we have a problem, and we are trying to find the path to solve that problem. After finding the solution, we have to write a research paper, and that we have to submit to the journal to verify the solution what we have developed is accurate, or maybe we require any further steps to improve the solution, or maybe we require some comments to enhance the solution. So for that, we have to write a research paper, and it will go submit to the research journal, or maybe conferences, and they will review. Based on the comments, we can go for enhancement of the paper. So that means why we have to go for research paper writing is, so we have to share our insights. Based on that, to the faculty community or research community, or maybe research fraternity. Based on that, they will give their comments. Based on that, we can improve the quality of the solution of the problem. And when you come to the dissemination of the research, so how to spread the research means we can submit to the journals, or maybe we can submit to the magazines, or maybe chapter in a book, textbooks, or maybe we can make a book, or maybe conferences, or maybe monograph, etc. So these are the things comes under dissemination of the research, but basically we are looking for the journals only. So when you are looking for, when you are doing PhD, or maybe after PhD also, so most of the time we are looking for journal, peer-reviewed journals. It may be Scopus Index or SCA Index, like that. Peer-reviewed journals we are looking. Maybe a very high standard conference also, maybe followed by textbook chapters, maybe a Scopus Index textbook chapters, or maybe any one textbook. That also we can look for dissemination of our research. And when you come to the research process, so here mainly, so literature survey, this plays a vital role. I will show some of the resources for literature survey. And after that, we have to go for collection of data and analysis of data, all those things we have to do. So when you come to the literature survey, so let us assume we have a problem, and we have to make what is the problem, we know that problem solution we are looking, and what are the objectives also we know, and what are the methods we have to do. For that we have to identify, and we have to do literature survey. What are the methods already developed for solving that problem? So if the problem is new, okay, fine. If the problem is available, but we are looking for better solution, for that we have to do some literature survey. Based on that, we can identify some solutions, and we are looking for better solution. So suppose maybe in terms of accuracy, or in terms of time complexity, like that, we have to look for various measures. Based on that, we can look for betterment. Suppose the accuracy of the problem solution is 96% already that is available. Maybe in the literature survey, we have to look for better. Let us assume more than 96%, maybe 97. With plus epsilon also, it's better only. So that's why we have to look for so greater than 96. So that solution is better than the existing one. So that basically we have to take in care into consideration of phase 1. When you come to the phase 2, we have to go for collecting data. Nowadays, we have when you go for machine learning, data science, etc. So data plays a very vital role. Without data, nothing to do with any models. Because of that reason, so we have to collect data. We have to do pre-processing. We have to analyze. So we have to make a conclusion. So after that, we have to, whatever model we have developed, we have to implement. And finally, after getting this, we have to write a paper for submission to the journal, or maybe if you are looking for any funding, so funding agencies, we have to submit. So these are the 3 phases. One is basically we are looking for literature survey, then analysis, developing models, all those things, and communicating. After results, maybe we have to present a paper to the respective journals or maybe funding agencies. So, but we should know what is the problem. That is main important. So we have to do literature survey strongly. Then only we can identify so what methods we can implement, so that the proposed method will give better results when compared to the previous one, with by considering variation methods, whatever it may be measures which is applicable to the respective research. And in general, whenever if I go for general structure of a research article, that most of the people, those who completed PhD also know, and those who are publishing articles also, they might know about these things. So obviously, title of the research article, abstract, and keywords. So these things are very, very important. So why means, so when you have a proper title and abstract keywords, there only we get more attraction. Based on that, we can go for implementation. So when you go for the next step, that is called main text, we can call it as a IM or AD. So that means, so this is, let us assume, so title, abstract, keywords by default. Then we have to go for introduction, methods, results, and discussion. So maybe in introduction only we can incorporate literature survey also, or maybe we can go for separately related studies, or maybe literature survey. So let us assume, as for IM or AD, this is given by the Elsevier. So this is the article from Elsevier. So they propose like this: IM or AD. IM means, I means introduction, M means methods, R means results, and discussion. So in introduction only we can incorporate the literature survey or related studies also. So after that, we can make a conclusion of the paper, research article, and any acknowledgements. If any finding is there, we can go for acknowledgement. Or maybe if you want to acknowledge any faculties, or maybe colleagues, or maybe any supporting people, that we can acknowledge, and references that what we have done in the literature survey, that references we have taken into consideration. Any supplementary data, maybe data sets, or maybe any other supplementary data, if we want to attach, we can include. So that depends on, if you don't have, this is optional. So, but these things are mandatory. Even acknowledgement also option. So conclusion, references, these are the main things. So when you come to the general structure of any research article, even if you take any standard journals also, we can follow this one. But only thing is, here not given separately literature survey, but that is incorporated in introduction, that way. Or maybe we can make separately also, no problem. Here we can make it as a literature survey or related study. So I mentioned here, so literature survey very, very important in the first phase of the while making research article. So for that, we have various literature survey databases. So when you go for reading papers in the literature survey, we can take all the quality papers. It may be low quality also fine, no problem. High quality also you can find. So all the quality papers you can read, and in which you can take good quality finally, because sometimes low quality papers also, some information maybe you can find additional information which we can't find in the other quality papers. That's why we can take that papers also. But while citing, maybe you can look for a good standard paper, publication papers. Based on that, the paper also having weightage. So, but low quality papers also, sometimes maybe you can find some information which may help to improve your methodology. And you can see the various literature such databases: Scopus, Google Scholar, Science Direct. So most of the times we are using IEEE. So here you can see. So Science Direct we have. Science Direct and Google Scholar, Scopus. Most of the time we are using this one, and maybe to be extend, we can go for IEEE also. IEEE, if we have subscription, we can download IEEE papers also. If not, so it is difficult to download. Or maybe we can go for SCI Hub also. Sometimes we can find some of the papers in that SCI Hub. So which with that papers not able to download in the IEEE journal, or maybe sometimes in Elsevier journals also. So that's why we can go for SCI Hub. There we can download. Not all papers. Most of the papers you can download. That papers not able to download in IEEE or maybe elsewhere journals, etc. So here even medical databases, here all subject databases by default, Google Scholar, Scopus, etc. Even medical databases and engineering databases we have. Even here what I specified here, IEEE Explore and social science databases. Depends on the areas, we can choose whichever database is suitable for finding the journals. Based on that, you can do the literature survey. So whenever if you are doing literature survey, so you can whatever information you have collected, that make it as a record. And by means after completing paper also, if you have that record, when you are making other new paper, it will be very helpful. Or maybe if you are pursuing the PhD, maybe that whatever we are making record of the literature survey, that will be helpful while making the thesis at final stage of your PhD. So obviously at that time again you have to search. So what are the papers we have referred, and that what are the how to make citations, all those things. So initial stage only, if you make all those things, it is very helpful while making thesis report, or maybe while submitting proposal to the some of the funding agencies, or maybe while submitting research on any new research article to the journals. So that is very, very helpful. That's why make habit of recording whatever literature survey done. You can keep in one folder, and that you can utilize in future also. Not only for current existing problem, maybe in future also we can utilize it. Or maybe because of that reason, you can find one more new problem, and you can develop solution for that problem. Based on that, you can submit to the research journal, or maybe conferences, or maybe any funding agencies also. So now we know, so the research, what is a simple definition of research, what are the different types of research, and what is the research article, why we have to write research article, and what is the structure of research article, that we discussed briefly. And after, okay, everything is done, I made a manuscript, or I completely prepared an article, research article based on the problem what I have considered, and I developed a model, or I developed a solution, and finally I made a research article based on the results. Now we have to go for peer review process. So let us assume I have to submit to the journal. Let us assume Elsevier or Springer or IEEE. So we have to submit a journal. So make sure that whether the journal is suitable to the paper or not. Some of the journals, let us assume medical journals, but my area is not related to medical, we can't submit. If you submit also, maybe within 1 or 2 days, maybe within hours also, you'll get rejection notification stating that this journal is not suitable. Maybe sometimes some of the journals, even though engineering, when you have a special what we can call it as a special issues. So let us assume the special issue on machine learning. Suppose if image processing paper, or maybe some other paper, if you submit which is not related to machine learning, will get rejection. So that's why we have to see the area, we have to see the domain which will meet our research paper. Based on that only they will proceed for review. Otherwise, initial stage only will get rejection from the editor, or maybe editor in chief, EIC, we can call it as a. So that's why here first we have to submit a paper, and the basic requirements meets. That's why if it is the area which meets the journal, or maybe whatever general requirements it will meet. It may be not only matching, maybe sometimes they look for plagiarism also. If the plagiarism is more than 10%, you will get immediately rejection notification, or maybe it depends on the journal. I can't say 10% minimum. So maybe sometimes more also, 15 also minimum, or 20 also minimum, depends on the journal. Some of the LSP journals, they will keep 10% minimum, or maybe 15%. So like that, they will keep some plagiarism. If more than that, they will reject straight away. Maybe within 1 or 2 days, you'll get rejection notification. So that's why. So whatever terms and conditions, that terms and conditions meet our paper, then only they will go for further step. So they will assign the reviewers. So after assigning reviewers, so the reviewers review the paper, and they will give recommendation. It may be accept or reject, or minor accept, or major accept, directly accept. So whatever it may be, depends on the options they have. Whenever if you receive a review paper, there we have various options. So reject, accept with minor changes, accept with major changes, and resubmit with major changes. Some options we have like this. So it depends on the paper quality. So again, the reviewers will submit to the journal editor, and again you will see the comments. Based on that, you will return back to the author. Maybe rejected means straight away will get rejected your paper, no more resubmission. Maybe if some revision with major or minor corrections, again we have to do, again we have to submit. So based on that, so here rejection is possibility is there, Otherwise, we have to revise the paper. Again, we have to submit. Same process. Again, we have to go through the same norms. So finally, maybe after 1 or 2, 3 rounds, if you are looking for quality journal, finally you get acceptance notification. So for example, in my case, so I submitted one of the paper, let us assume, I think in 2014. So first round, 4 reviews done. So none of the reviews accepted. In second round, but all given minor corrections. And third, second review, so 3 rejected, 1 accepted, but again this given comment says revise and submit. In third review, so 3 accepted and 1 rejected, and final review still 3 accepted, 1 rejected, but final review I got acceptance notification from elsewhere. So that means here they are looking, I think majorly 3 accepted, 1 rejected. So even though 1 rejected, 3 accepted, but here no more comments from these 3 reviewers. So I got acceptance notification, no more resubmission. And after 1 month, I got that online publication, and finally they assigned volume number also after 2, 3 months. So this is a simple way after submission of the manuscript. But when you're looking for quality journals, we should be have very patience. So many comments they'll give, sometimes the 4 or 5 pages comments only, and after that we have to answer each and every comment. Some comments are not able to answer such type of comments also they'll give. At that time we have to do one more research for comparison, all those things, whatever research done. So based on the comments, again we have to do a few more research, or maybe few more literature surveys we have to do. So like that we have to go for extensive work whenever if you go for final acceptance in the good quality journals. So otherwise maybe you will get rejection maybe after 3, 4 rounds also. So one paper like that, same thing happened after 7 months with the 3 rounds revision. Fourth round I got rejection because of most of the reviewers stating that this paper is not going to accept. Like that they given comment based on that. Maybe they are not happy with that. So whatever answers we have provided through the questions, that's why we got rejection notification. So that's why this is a peer review process when you are looking for standard journals. Maybe if you are looking for low quality journals, we don't have any peer review process, pay money and get acceptance notification. So but that type of papers not having much quality. That's why whenever if you are attending interviews also, it may be universities or maybe colleges, autonomous, whatever it may be. So they will ask good journals like Scopus Index, or maybe Essay Index, or maybe Elsevier, Springer. So such type of quality journal publications only they will ask. Maybe if you have low quality, 1 or 2 not an issue, but majority of the people they are asking high quality journals, because it is helpful when you are looking for research funding also. And here nowadays we have digital tools for stress-free research paper writing. So it will add very advantage to the people, those who are doing research, or those who wants to do publications, or those who completed PhD also. If you are looking for any paper publications, so these digital tools are very helpful. So for example, when you are looking for these digital tools, maybe we can speed up our research work, or and accuracy also we can increase, and affordability, more honest, all those things we will discuss when I'll explain 1 or 2 tools you can identify. So if you want to go for complete all the digital tools, you can go for this reference. So I given references most of the slides which where I have referred. Based on that, after session also you can go through that, so that you can go for insights of that complete information. Otherwise not able to complete everything in 1 hour session. So for example, I will show one of the digital tool for stress-free research paper writing. So Grammarly. So even we can install, this is free software. So what is the advantage of this one is, so whenever after writing the paper, so we have to go for editing. So previously, even when I have done my research work, after completing the manuscript, I used to submit to some of the website people and for editing, because we are not that much native English speakers. Because of that reason, so quality journals are looking for quality English. Obviously, we have to take help from the people those are expecting English. Obviously, we have to submit to the people, and based on their comments, we can improve the English grammars, all those things, or maybe they will only help to rewrite the sentences, all those things, but we have to pay some money. So instead of that, we have one more online tool that is called Grammarly. So this will be helpful for spelling, checking grammar, or any punctuations. So obviously it will suggest, based on that we can improve the quality of the paper. So here you can see one example. Let us assume, so this is actually my sentences. If you have any questions about my rate of something, here we have let us assume a paragraph of my research article. Let us assume. Now when you use this tool, or when you use this Grammarly tool, what happens, it will recommend, so here this is not required, and this is not required, this is not required. Instead of that, we can go for like this sentence, or maybe these words we have to replace with the existing one. Like that, it will suggest. Based on that, the quality of the paper will increase automatically, and also we can minimize the plagiarism also. So we know what is the meaning of plagiarism. So it's a copying some content from the already existing one. So that type of things also we can minimize when you are looking for this type of tool. It's a free of cost only. Maybe you can download a desktop also. Even when you are, whenever if you are sending mails also, it will helpful to you to eliminate some of the grammar mistakes, this type of punctuations, etc. And Todoist. So this is also very important online tool which will help to organize your research work process. Whatever, if you have plans, for example, I'm developing one of the research paper, or maybe I'm doing one of the research problem solution. So we have proper plans. So maybe sometimes if you have 10 plans while wake up in the morning, maybe some of the after maybe 1 hour or 2 hours, maybe you'll forget one or two plans, or maybe one or two tasks, maybe one or two objectives. So this type of things may happen by default. Because of that reason, what happens, so this will provide, so Todoist, it will provide a online tool. There we can update our all the tasks of that day, and based on that we can see that one, and we can update. Okay, for example, parent teacher meetings, or maybe water plants, today these are the tasks, maybe tomorrow these are the tasks. Like that we can make a task. Maybe today I have to submit my paper, or today I have to review my paper, or today I have to correct or I have to edit my paper, or I have to meet my guide. Like that we can make a task here. So based on that you will get alert. So here you have plus symbol. Here you can add your task, or maybe objective, or whatever it may be. So based on that, so it will give the reminder, and obviously we can do that work. At the end of the day, we can open this one, whichever task left, that we can do immediately next day, or maybe immediately on that day also. Based on that we can complete all the tasks for the research work, or maybe the research paper writing. Based on that you'll get idea. Okay, this is today whatever task assigned for my research work, everything done. Now tomorrow these are the tasks, again you can fix. So maybe once if you complete, at the end of the day, automatically, once if you complete, now automatically this will erase. If you click this one, then you will get like this message. You are all done for today, and enjoy the rest of the day. Like that we'll get message. Suppose if anything is left, then we have to complete the task. Then when you click this one, it will erase. Just like it's like a Google Calendar type of thing only. So this is also very helpful when you are looking for, because when you have when you are researcher, or when you are doing some project, or maybe research work, so many works we have along with that research, maybe teaching works, or maybe other works also. Because of that reason, this Todoist is just like a gentle reminder calendar. So based on that we can complete the task, and at the end of the day we can see this still any task is left. Maybe sometimes what happens, today is the last date for submission of the paper for that special issue. If you forget, maybe at the end of the day, or maybe middle of the day, if you see this one, okay, today we have to submit, immediately we can open that work and we can submit. So such type of things, it will helpful to you. So you can go through this one, you can find exactly. Even YouTube also, if you open, you can type this one, you can find how to use all those. That's why I said, so here I can show these are the things available, but after a session we can go through this, you can find so many things inside that. That means you can look for insights of these online tools for your better research. Here you can see top, so your productivity, 3 completed tasks, maybe out of 5. So you can see top, out of 5, 3 tasks are completed, maybe still 2 more left, maybe that also we have to complete. Like that, here view all the completed tasks like this. So like that we can writing my paper. So add task, what is the task, and understand the subject area, narrow down my topic. Like that we can create your all the questions, and we can give deadline also. All those things we can make. July 31st, maybe November 30th, maybe November 28th, or November 15th, or December 1st. Like that you can give deadlines also. Maybe each day we can see, maybe on that day, if all the task completed, you will get message immediately, today all your tasks completed. If not, you will get one task is pending, like that. So that's why if you want better understanding, you can go through this website. It's a free online source only. Just you have to create account, and you can go inside that, you can find much details about this. And this is also here also papers world. Here also we can find professionals for editing of your paper, proofreading, and minimizing plagiarism. All those things we can find, and you can check it. So what are the writing tools? You can see plagiarism checker, citation generator, thesis generator. All those things we can find when you go through this website, and based on that, whichever required for your research work, you can extract and you can utilize it. So that's why after the section you can go through these details. You can find much better about this each and every tool. So just I'm showing 1 or 2 tools only, but so many tools are there. Like this, here you can find all the tools, 12 tools for writers, so for research papers. So you can go through all the tools. Based on that, some of the tools will help to you for your research articles, or maybe research work. Based on that, we can minimize the time, and you are stress free. That's why I said, so digital tools for stress free for researchers, or maybe research paper writing, like that. So plagiarism, obviously, this is also copying another's work is one of the offense. So this is nowadays it's very a serious issue. Even if I type my name in my journal, I mean paper, that also plagiarism only. Now, that's why our name also plagiarism sometimes. If we type my name, along with if I write my college name, so that is already available somewhere in the website. Obviously, you get plagiarism. So that's why we have to. That's why we no one telling it should be 0% similarity index like that. So they are giving up to 10%, 15% depends on the journal policies. But we should not copy more. That is the main intention. Maybe when you go for especially literature survey or maybe case studies, there most of the things we have to copy, because literature survey and case studies, survey papers, there we have to copy, but we'll try to rewrite. And because that's why some of the tools I have shown in the previous slides, so that tools also will help to rewrite the sentences. Based on that, we can minimize the plagiarism, and so that we can minimize the plagiarism and the acceptance ratio is more. Suppose if the plagiarism or similarity index is more, then immediately you get rejection notification from the respective journal. So in general, we have various plagiarism detection tools, online tools available. So here, this is a reference from Elsevier. So when you come to the Elsevier, so Elsevier is participation in two plagiarism detection schemes. One is Turnitin, one is Authenticate. So these are the two, but most of the times we are using Turnitin software only. Most of the colleges also having this Turnitin software. So there we are checking plagiarism. Of course, we have cross check powered by Authenticate. That software also we can utilize. So when you come to the Turnitin, so let us assume I have uploaded the paper for checking the similarity index. So you can find here. So maybe after that, it will generate a report after submission of the paper. Maybe it will take 5 minutes or maybe 2-3 minutes time. Then you will get a similarity index, 45% similarity index. That means 45% of the content copied from other resources. So even that resources also listed here. So 14% copied from this resource, 12% copied from resource, like that resources. And after that, rewrite the paper, and again you try to submit the Turnitin or maybe any other plagiarism tool. Based on that, we'll try to minimize this similarity index. Based on that, we can go for a submission to the journal or maybe funding. Even if you are looking for funding also, that proposal also should be plagiarism free. That means the similarity index should be minimum. If the similarity index is more in the proposal, then they will reject straight away. They won't look for your problem problem statement also. That's why, so plagiarism is very important, that we'll try to minimize always. And here we have one more very important website, that is called Think, Check and Submit. The website name itself you can see, thinkchecksubmit.org. So here, what is the advantage is here, you can see here about Think, Check, Submit help researchers to identify trusted journals and publishers for their research. So nowadays we have more fake journals here. Some people are sending messages, most of the scholars and most of the students are maybe faculty. So this is indexed in Scopus. When you open inside the Scopus, that journal is not listed, or maybe listed, but that time duration, or we can call it as listed in Scopus from 2020 to 2021, but 2022 not listed. So such type of things also happening nowadays. So because of that reason, so whenever if you want to submit a paper, first we have to think which journal we have to choose. After we have to check, so whether that journal is indexed in Scopus or SCI, so it's a proper authenticated, then we have to submit. That's why when you go through this website, Think, Check, Submit, and we have to create a login for this, and you can find all the details. So what is the meaning of Think, what is the meaning of Check, what is the meaning of Submit, each and everything they explain clearly. And finally, after go through that all the instructions, you can submit to the respective journals. Even whenever if you type some journal, it will show whether it's authenticated or not, whether it's indexed in Scopus or not, maybe a complete details. It may be impact factor of the journal, or maybe other measures it will display. Based on that, we can go further. So these contributing organizations are, so DOAGA, COPE, Scopus, all those things are here available, but I did not take that screenshot. So that's why you can go through this website, you can find complete details about this. Based on that, you can understand how much it will helpful for submission paper to the journal or maybe conferences. So I'm not explaining in detail of inside. That's why when you go, the basic idea is, so it will help to the researchers to identify the good journals, and based on that we can submit. For that only to the basic idea I have given. When you go through inside, you can find still more other details also. So when I already said, so when you submit for journal, so there are so many people are waiting to cut your paper. That means for rejection, most of the people are waiting for rejection only. So some review, I mean, what we can call it as a reviewers. So instead of reading complete paper, maybe sometimes they'll send directly, this is not suitable, or maybe this is already existing problem. Like that, you will get immediately rejection notification. Also, that's why the paper sometimes may accept because of luck. Also, sometimes high quality papers also rejected. Maybe low quality papers will accept because of this review process also something. So both maybe obviously if the quality is very high, there is no issue. By default, you will get acceptance within short time. Or sometimes what happens because of review process, maybe it may delay, or maybe sometimes you will get rejection notification because of various parameters also. So, for example, if you take one of my research article, so this is published in Computers and Electrical Engineering, that is Elsevier Journal, impact factor more than 4. So here my first name, first author, and second author is my guide. So I have submitted this. I already told about this 2014, and finally available in 2015. So almost four rounds of review. First, I already said in first round out of 4. Maybe all rejected. Second round, 1 accepted, 3 rejected. But rejected means rejected and resubmission, like that. So not directly straight away rejected and resubmit with major revision, like that. So again, we have to do research, like that. We have to, but the quality paper will improve after completing 4 rounds. So if you take submitted paper in initial stage, and if you see the accepted paper after 4 rounds, there is a huge difference. So that is the quality we can improve based on the comments received from the reviewer. So that is the one advantage also, because you will get so many comments. Based on that, we keep on improve the quality of the paper. Finally, you can find very good quality paper. That's why always we have to welcome the comments from the reviewers. Based on that, we can improve the quality of the paper. So that's why always whenever if I'm replying to the reviewer, first statement, my gratitude to the reviewers for valuable comments. So based on that, I can incorporate all the solutions based on the questions, like that. So that our quality of the paper also will increase by default. So this is the thing what we have covered on basics of research. Just in basics of research, we discussed the review process and various types of research, and what are the steps we have to follow while writing the research paper, like introduction, literature, all those things we followed. And plagiarism, what are the online tools. I'm giving everything briefly only, because if you take one concept, it will take 2-3 hours also. For example, if you take online tools for stress-free research paper writing, it will take even more than 2-3 hours if you want to explain each and every tool. Just I have given briefly. After completion of the session, so then you can go through each and every point or each and every website. Based on that, you can find much details about that, so that it will help you for your research paper writing, or maybe for pursuing PhD, or maybe for submitting proposal to the research funding agencies. Now coming to the second part of the session, so that is called research funding. So we have done everything. We have an idea. So we done a lot of research articles. We published so many research articles. Now we have one more new idea. Now that a new idea having too expensive, so we require some funding. Based on that only we can implement. Obviously, maybe that is on large scale. Then obviously we require some supporting staff also. So in such cases, we require research funding. If you go looking for simple academic research, that's why I said initially we have various types of research. When you go for basic research, it's just like increasing the knowledge. But if you are looking for applied research, or maybe if you are looking for problem-oriented research, so there we require some funding for solving that problems. Otherwise, it's very difficult, because alone it's difficult to do such type of problem solution. That's why we require some assistance. That's why when you are looking for CSIR, etc., they are providing junior research fellowships, senior research fellowships to the people, those who are having funding project. Again, they will provide 30,000 per month. Like that, some funding also they are providing, so that they will also participate in the research project problem solution. Based on that, we can complete within stipulated time. So that is the main reason why we are looking for research funding. So that just now I said why we have to go for research funding means, so research funding is defined as a grant obtained for conducting a scientific research. So whenever if you take applied research, so it depends on large scale. Obviously it's a very extensive. Because of that reason, we have to look for funding. And why we are looking funding is, that is the reasons what I have listed in the previous. Here you can see academic improvement, because sometimes academic improvement means if you have some funds, maybe when you are looking for interview for any other college, or maybe when you are looking for promotion. So obviously there's some one may ask you, oh, is there any funding? So based on the funding also you may get promotions. Maybe some points is allocated for that also when you are looking for what we can call it as academic performance report. And conference paper presentations, if you are looking for some paper presentations, maybe in national level or maybe outside country, obviously we require funding, because maybe going to abroad and presenting paper, we require travel grant also. Even some of the funding agencies providing travel grant also. So that's why we require funding for that also. Even journal publications, nowadays we have open access publications. So when you go for elsewhere, most of the open journals are open access. So for that they will ask $1,100 or maybe 1,000 US, minimum around $600. It will start from minimum around $600 for very low impact factor journals. If you are looking for high impact factor journals, obviously the funding is even $2,500 also. So such type of open access journals, if you want to publish, obviously we are looking for funding for that also. And training opportunities for students and research scholars. So obviously when you have a project, we can provide some opportunities for our students. It may be PG students or UG or especially research scholars. We can give that project so that they will also get opportunity to do some work on the research. And obviously travel research assistant. What does it mean here? So whenever if you are looking for any big project, so then obviously we require some assistant. That's why I said JRF, SRF, all those things comes under this type of research assistant. And equipments, if you have any experimental oriented research, obviously we require huge equipments like chemistry, physics, etc. Maybe even computer science also. If you are looking for some software that is not open source, then obviously we have to buy. So such type of things also we require funding. Based on that, then only we can do research. Otherwise it is very difficult to do, because we don't have any funding, and in general most of them won't spend that much money for doing research. That's why we require funding, and that we have to apply to the agencies. Based on that we can do. So when you come to the research funding agencies, we have institution level funding agencies. Sometimes institutions also will give little bit funding, not huge funding, maybe a little bit. And universities also, local universities like VTU, JNTU, sometimes they will also give funding. Even during COVID time also, most of the local universities are requesting students or faculty to submit proposals for on COVID-19. And based on the proposals, accepted proposals, they provided funding also. Like that, institution, universities, and state level, national level, even state level also. If you take Karnataka, we have Vision Group funding, so VJST, so they will funding for faculty members. And national level, international bodies also, research organizations, R&D is also, NGOs also available for funding. Depends on the problem. And even corporate funding agencies also available, like Reliance, Adani Group, this type of corporate funding agencies also available. So based on the problem, suppose they have any problem, if you are trying to give some solution, then obviously you get funding. Based on that, you can develop that solution and you can submit to them. If they are happy, again you can go for further problem solutions also. So like that, we have various type of funding agencies available for getting funds for the research proposals. And even others like CSIR. I said already, when you go for JRF, SRF for any research assistance, we can go for JRF candidates. That fund is providing by CSIR. Even they are providing fund for traveling also. If you are looking for any paper presentations outside India, etc. Even they are giving awards for the research publications. Like that, various schemes they have. Based on that suitability, we have to apply, and maybe if they shortlisted, they will provide immediately. And ISRO also, maybe we have a huge number of projects. And Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, and UGC, DST, etc. So here you can see all the list of government agencies providing funding: DST, CSIR, NHAL, BHEL, DBT, Department of Biotechnology. So depends on your proposal. So the area of the proposal, you can look for the respective funding agency. Suppose I'm looking for, let us assume, biotechnology related, then we can look for Department of Biotechnology. If I'm looking for maybe related to medical, then I can look for Indian Medical Research Center. So like that, depends on the research proposal, we can look for respective funding agency and we can apply. Of course, DST and UGC, CSIR, they are funding almost all the subjects. So, but when you are looking for some of the departments like Department of Biotechnology or maybe medical counseling, these people are looking for biotechnology, medical related domains only. For that, we have to apply. And AICTU. So when you come to the AICTU schemes for faculty, we have various schemes for faculties in HEIS. So like STPPs and FDPs and sports faculty program, technical university, AICTU conducting FDP programs. So like you can see, various programs are available for faculty. So when you go through this website, you can find all those things in detail. Just I'm showing screenshots of the schemes for faculty members in HEIS. So based on your interest, you can apply even for research promotion scheme, RPS. Maybe there you can get 25 lakh, 30 lakhs funding also. Even AICT, STTP, even we got AICT, STTP short-term training program, 3.7 lakhs funding in to our department, CS department in our college. So for conducting 3 phases of cybersecurity STTP. Even for institutes level also. So this is applicable for teachers. So whatever listed here, this is applicable for teachers. Here, this is applicable for institution level. Of course, departments only we are also applying, but this is applicable for entire institute. This is applicable for individual faculty. So maybe we can apply for more drops, etc. But terms or conditions are available. We have to look for eligibility criteria. So based on that, we can apply. That's why just I'm showing the screenshots of these various schemes for faculty and institutes. When you look for inside that, we can find complete details. So eligibility criteria and what is the funding and what is the duration of that project scheme. All those things you can find in detail when you are looking for inside this. And DST, this is one of the main funding agency for faculty members in HEIS. So you can go through this DST. There you can find huge number of schemes. So depends on the eligibility, you can apply. Maybe here they look for projects as well as travel, as well as research awards, as well as any collaborative research funding also, like some DAD with German collaboration research work like that, even Indo-US or Indo-UK like that. We have various schemes collaborated with other countries also. So depends on the interest. Even PDF also, postdoctorate fellowship funding also they're offering. So depends on the interest. You can go through that scheme and you can see the what are the eligibility norms or criteria. Based on that we can apply. So here also every year they used to call, and based on that we can apply. And other DSC sites we have a SERB and see like that. When we go through this, we can find so many other DSC websites, and then we can find huge number of research funding options, and depends on the area of your research or maybe proposal, whichever suitable area, whichever suitable department or division, you can apply to that. And SERB, Science and Engineering Research Board, this comes under DST only. So here we have various funding schemes, like one is, let us assume, more drops, not more, sorry, matrix is like a mathematical research impact and scientific support. So that is for 3 years, 2 lakhs they will fund. And startup research grant and core research grant around 30 to 40 lakhs they will provide. So when you go for each research scheme, we can find the eligibility. Almost all the research schemes eligible for PhD people only, and most of the schemes minimum qualification is PhD. So when you go through these schemes, we can find, so what are the eligibility criteria and what is the scheme duration and what is the funding amount, minimum and maximum, all those norms and all those regulations we can find when you are looking for each. And when you click this scheme, we can find each and every. And awards also based on your publications, or maybe based on your research work, or based on your profile. So you can apply any awards also, and you can go through the norms and what are the eligibility norms, all those things you can look into that. Based on that you can find awards and fellowships. And CSI already mentioned. So this is also one of the top funding agency in India. CSIR, DST, AICT, UGC. These are all top funding agencies. Of course, we have DRDO, ISRO, others also. These are all mostly focusing on academic related fundings. And when you click schemes, we can find all the schemes under CSIR. So grant for journals, sponsored research schemes, and research schemes. Inside again, we can find so many schemes, and even whatever scheme results also we can find previous one. Based on that, you will get idea. And grants, we have travel grants, because I already said why we are looking for research funding is obviously if you are looking for travel to other country for a research publication, I mean research presentation, etc., or maybe open access, etc., a journal publication, obviously we require some grants. So for that we can go for grants here. And next one is Indo-US Science and Technology Forum. Here when you click announcement, so when you click announcement, so we can see all the schemes under Indo-US Science and Technology Forum, and based on the suitability you can apply. It's they are offering huge amount. So basically if you are, it's like collaborative research platform. There we can work your research work proposal. And this is, I already said, when you are looking for research funding, maybe the agency belongs to state level or national level or international level, or maybe NGOs, or maybe corporates also. So here I'm showing one of the example for state level. This is VJST, Vision Group of Science and Technology. So this is Government of Karnataka. So every year they are announcing this notification. So there we like funding for research grant, and funding for research publications, and funding for FDPs and STTPs, like that. So we have various programs. For each program, they will give some funding. When you go through this BJST site, we can find if anyone belongs to Karnataka, so you can go through this website, because the condition is the people those are working under Karnataka college, like that. I'm giving one example for this. Maybe in your respective states, even Tamil Nadu also, I found so many schemes that is applicable only for Tamil Nadu and Andhra or maybe Kerala, like that. Even for state level also, we have various schemes for funding, but funding is not that much high when DST funding, but it's a normal funding only. It's good only for our academic research, and it's useful also. You can go through this, you can find various schemes and which is suitable to you. Even for FDPs also, even for conducting conferences also, they're finding. Like this, we can find notification. So if we take, this is a 21-22 call for proposal under VGST for the academic year, like FDPs and research grants and research publication award, like that. Research publication award also, they are giving around 25,000, 30,000 some amount also. Just publish whatever papers you have published. The papers are published in high quality journal. They are giving some funding for that also. Like that, you can look for all the state level agencies for funding, not only for national, international level agencies. And even Startup Karnataka, here you can see huge funding. So up to 50 lakhs selected ideas. Here we have maximum funding is 9 crores. So this is for Startup Karnataka. There, if you are looking for funding, you can go through funding and programs. There we can see all the programs, and based on the interest, we can apply for funding. It's a huge amount only, crores and lakhs. We have 50 lakhs like this. And UGC, in UGC also providing funding for the faculty members in HEIS, like a minor project, major project, and research award. So depends on the availability. We have eligibility conditions also that we have to go through. Based on the eligibility criteria, we have to apply to the respective scheme or program. And still other department funding schemes. So I given major, still we have so many other department funding schemes like DRDO, DBT, MOC, and ISRO, like that. We have, you can see so many other ministries or maybe funding agencies are available. When you go through each and every one, you can find complete details. Based on that eligibility, we can apply to the respective department for getting funding. So we know why we required for funding. I explained briefly, and what are the funding agencies and what is the basic research. All those things we discussed. Now coming to the this one, I already explained initially. So now you will get still more clarity. We have an idea, and whatever it may be idea, that we have to make it as a proposal. So we have to write that proposal, and we have to submit to the funding agencies. Just now I explained all the funding agencies. So you can go through each and every funding agency. You can find complete details of the programs or schemes, and what is the funding, what is the duration, what are the eligibility norms, all those things we can find. And based on that, you can submit to the funding agencies. And maybe initially it may be declined, let us assume. And if they accepted, means there is no issue. Happy. If it declined, also no issue. Again, try again. And based on the conceptualization, again you can get new idea. Again we can write and revise whatever idea we have. After conceptualization, we can rewrite, and or we can revise and again submit to the same funding. Maybe second time or third time, at least one fine day you will get funding from the respective agency. Maybe that you can utilize for your research project. Based on that, you can gain the knowledge as well as paper publications and all those things. Facilities are maybe available that we can utilize for that. So just I have shown the path for funding as well as research. If you are looking for better enhancement of these things, I will show some of the resources. If you go through that, you can find much details about that. So for example, if you are looking for research funding, you can go through this article, research funding, why, when, and how. Around 5 to 6 pages article, you can find complete details of research funding. I'm not talking about funding agents inside. We can find all those things, why, when, how, all those things we can find in this research article about research funding. And how to write a research proposal, because we are not discussed about how to write a research proposal. We talked about research paper or manuscript, but not research proposal. So actually there is also one big section. If you want to look for how to write a research proposal, it will take more than 1 hour to explain what are the things we have to follow for developing a research proposal. But I'm giving one reference. You can go through that reference, how to write a research proposal. Even one textbook also there, the research funding guidebook. So if you go through these, you can find still much details about research proposal, how to write all those things, and you can submit to the respective agencies for funding. And here how to write is writing a scientific article, step-by-step guide for beginners, because we discussed basic research, but when you go through this paper you can find complete details. So it's very good quality paper. You can find complete details about a step-by-step guide for beginners, how to write a scientific article for submission to the standard journals. So that was my talk about basic research and research funding for teachers in HEIS. So if you have any queries, I'm happy to answer. So of course, yeah, whatever I have explained, all are basics only, but I have provided some of the resources. If you go through that resources, you can find much details about funding as well as research, as well as research article submission process, all those things. Based on that, you can go ahead with the respective.
The session is open for discussion now. You can unmute and interact with the resource person, or you can post the questions in the chat box also. Thank you, sir. Thank you all.
Yeah, right.
Sir,
Yes,
NGO funding, you can explain for 1 minute, sir, for NGOs funding.
yes, sir, yes, sir. So here, yeah, here only, na, sir.
Yes, sir.
So actually, some of the non-governmental organizations, for example, let us assume I have a company, let us assume. So when you come to here, I have a problem, but I'm looking for solution. So in that, maybe I can, it is an open problem. So anyone can solve that problem and they can provide solution. If the solution is okay, then they will go for funding. Or maybe if the proposal is accepted, they will go for funding, sir. So like, for example, even if we take this corporate funding agencies like Reliance, all those things I listed. So this also comes under non-governmental organizations only. Like we have various companies, even institutes also. For example, if we take college, let us assume I have one problem in our college. I'm looking for solution. So those who are submitting proposal which will solve the problem, then obviously I look for, I can release the funding to the respective researchers and they will develop the solution and they'll submit to the organizations. So it's not related to pure government, maybe semi-government or maybe private also we can consider.
Okay.
Any other queries? Without any recent research article, is there any possibility to get fund?
What, madam? 1 second. Can you repeat it, madam?
Yes, sir. Without any recent research article, is there any possibility to get fund?
Yes, madam. The recent articles is not a plays a vital role. The problem, the proposal, what you have written, it should meet the real life problem of the recent scenario. For example, let us assume during COVID time, maybe I have publications up to 2015, but during COVID time, I have developed a proposal which will solve the COVID problem, COVID-19 diagnosis. Then obviously possibility for acceptance. At that time, they won't look for recent publications, but they will see your publication background. But the proposal what you have submitted, which will solve the real life problem, obviously they'll go for acceptance, madam. But that scenario is very rare, but possibility also there.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Can you just tell us some one or two real life problems in social science, the presently, like I am just thinking of working on women gig workers and their issues and
Madam,
challenges.
your voice is not clear, madam. Can you type in the chat box, madam?
Okay, okay.
I think your voice is breaking.
Just a simple samosa we do, sir.
Vinodini madam, are you typing, madam? Dr. Vinodini madam.
Yeah, I've done it.
Otherwise, I will provide. Otherwise, I am providing my mail ID, madam. You can share to that mail also. Fine.
Yeah,
I will
please.
provide.
Please.
Yeah, I'm sharing my mail ID in the chat box. Yeah, if you want any materials or maybe answers to the queries, please send to this mail, madam.
Yeah, sure.
So she has posted in the chat box, sir, with regards to GIG workers and their challenges.
With regards to GAG workers, I think this domain. Actually, I'm not
It's
new to the
related to
GAG.
gig workers.
Okay. I don't know much about man. Actually, I'm computer science background. I have to look for this
Okay.
also. That
No, in
I
social
have to.
sciences, the proposal.
Yeah, sure. I'll go through this, madam. I'll check it. I'll update
Okay.
otherwise.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. I've noted down
Okay.
your email ID.
Yeah. Thank you. No problem. You are giving opportunity to do research on this. So obviously, I'm happy to do something and I will give
Yeah.
reply.
Sure,
Because we
sir.
are all learners. Every day we are learning. Based on that, we can improve or
Absolutely.
we can enhance the
Yeah.
knowledge.
I've noted your email ID. I'll just send this.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Number we will be sharing in the group, ma'am.
Mail ID I have shared, madam.
Yes, sir. We will be sharing the recorded sessions in the group also. Any other questions?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Pratibha madam, for comments. Anandi.
Any other queries? So, think there are no more queries, sir. Shall we wind up, sir?
Yes, madam.
On behalf of IoT Academy, I thank Dr. Somashekar for the informative, excellent, enriching, and enlightening session. We thank you once again for the amazing and excellent presentation, sir. We thank
Yeah,
you for
welcome.
enhancing our knowledge with a commendable presentation. We thank you very much for your efforts, sir.
Yeah, welcome, madam. Yeah. Thank you, madam, for opportunity and thanks to all the participants. Madam. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. It was an amazing session, sir. Thank you very much for your
Thank
efforts,
you.
sir. I thank all the participants for joining the session today. Kindly submit the feedback form using the link that has been posted in the chat box. Thank you all. Have a great day.